Hello, everyone. Welcome to Entertainment Buzz here on the Florida National News Network. Today is our first live session. We have a special guest, Mezo Riccio, singer, songwriter, and actor with us today. Welcome to the show, Mezo.
Thank you for having me. So I'm the first one, huh?
You're the first one. What an honor.
I'm a lucky man.
Thank you. Thank you. We're lucky to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. How are you doing these days in quarantine?
It's been a new experience for me, and I'm not one for staying in, so I have to admit I've been out quite a bit, but I go on runs and walks and car rides. So I haven't been too enclosed, but I've been safe though. I've been safe.
It's hard, right, for an artist who's used to being on the go. I mean,
Yeah.
lifestyles, and then to just kind of be expected to stay home all of a sudden.
I'd rather be in the car listening to music with the windows down, even if I'm not going anywhere.
Right. Hey, that's still social distancing, right?
I'm doing my part.
Good, good. Okay. So we have some exciting things to talk about today. I know that you have a new single that's just been released. You're a man of many talents. You're not just an actor. You're not just a songwriter. You also sing and produce and manage. So you have quite an array of things going on there. Tell us about your new single.
Well, Human Contact came out about a year ago, but I let it resurface again because the times and where we were at with this pandemic, and I thought it was kind of fitting to push it again and let it have a little resurgence. But the song, when it was originally written, had to do more with losing human contact due to technology.
Okay, awesome. So technology basically inspired the song.
Technology, like what we're doing right now, we have no human contact, so we're seeing each other via computers.
Right, right. We've had to be very creative. So normally, guys, we would do this interview in the studio with Mezo sitting right next to me. But of course, since we're all social distancing, we had to get creative, and we're using a platform called StreamYard. And so I'm in my studio, and so I think you're at home, right?
I'm at home right now.
Okay, awesome. So I thought it was very interesting that you had already released this song less than a year ago called Human Contact. And then we're dealing obviously with this pandemic and this quarantine right now. And you did re-release the song again. And I thought the timing was very appropriate. So tell us a little bit about how you think people will perceive the song now, since things have completely changed, worldwide since it originally came out.
I always try to, when I write, I'm writing totally from a personal viewpoint. So the meaning for me is always totally different. So I try to let people interpret the meaning for themselves. But in a simplistic way, it's just basically saying, like, with all these different things, technology, and obviously now quarantine, that for whatever reason, we strive for human contact, and when we don't have it, we feel lost. Another thing is you could perceive it at a micro level or a macro level, but at the personal level, it's really all about. It comes down to love,
right,
and connection with your loved ones and people that you love.
Okay, so you said the word love.
Yes.
Was the song written connected to a love story? Any relationship behind this song?
I guess the underbelly of every song has a tinge of inspiration of love.
Right.
Because, like I said, it's probably the most humanistic thing is to feel love and to be loved. So if you're not in love, you may write a sad song. I mean, if you're having love problems, you might write a sad song. If you're in love, you might write a happy song. But I think the undertow of everything is, for me, I don't know for everybody, I can only speak for myself, But yeah, I think the song, when I originally wrote it, I was losing that contact, and I felt like that contact was being lost due to indulgence with, the Instagrams and the Facebooks, and, people's, heads down, and not really connecting with each other. So I think that was um, the initial part of that song. It started the thought process.
Interesting. Yeah, that's so
But I really don't know how, like, when you write a song, I really don't know how it comes about, but it comes quickly. When when you're with the piano, or you're with the guitar, it transpires very quickly.
like a download in your spirit, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. It's a communion. So
Sure. Did you write Human Contact yourself, or were there other people involved in the writing process?
no, that one I wrote 100% for myself.
We're going to take a look at the video in a second. I wanted to know where you shot this, who shot it. It's done very interestingly, and it looks really awesome.
I got very lucky with this one. It was a student. He was from Norway. His name is Chris, and he was already doing films in Norway, and he's had a great eye and a very great director. And he was studying in Full Sail, and I did a short film with him. It was a film called Anastasia. It was a gangster film, and we bonded, and he heard some of my stuff, and he asked me if he could do a video for Human Contact, and I said sure, but I never realized it was going to come out so good. But he was able to get the equipment that he used was just amazing, and his eye and the team that did it, and the editing, it came out better than I could ever imagine. On a small budget, it came out wonderful.
That's great. It's so true that on a small budget, like you said, you can still be very creative, and the quality is excellent.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
take a look at Human Contact, everyone.
The sky is falling down. We never get it right. We always end at sorry. Sorry's our first line. Delusion is our fate. We're falling on our face. We're losing human contact.
Okay, so now you saw a little clip of Human Contact. We do have it on our Florida National News page under entertainment. And then, of course, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called Human Contact by Mezo. Mezo, that was an awesome clip that we just shared. So it was interesting that you did the whole video by yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what's funny about it is I wanted to get a couple of people involved with it, and it just kept falling through. People were flaking out. This happens a lot in our society, people flaking out. So I think it worked out well, though. I mean, because it left me alone in my own solitude, and I think it probably made more sense. I didn't want to have people interacting with me in the video, but I wanted them to be in their own, solitudes themselves. But
Right.
it didn't work out. But I think it worked out for the best. A little piece of art that I could share. I don't know.
Exactly. It definitely conveyed the message. And I was curious about that, if that was intentional or if it just happened that way. But I think it happened that way correctly.
Everything happens for a reason. Isn't that what they say?
So what are your plans next? Do you have something else coming out that we should be looking out for?
Yes, I've been in the studio working on some new Mezo songs, and staying busy with that. I take my art and my stuff very seriously. I've kind of taken a backseat a little bit to my own art with some of the projects I've been working on, and for good reason. I'm working on some amazing stuff with some amazing artists, and very excited about that as well. But I'll always continue to do my art and do it the way I want to do it.
Right. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about your acting, because you're a singer, you're a songwriter. We just got a little sample of your video, which is amazing. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sure fans are just loving it. I saw you have quite a few views on Instagram, which is really good, and YouTube. So tell us a little bit about your acting. That's how I know you. I know you from the acting
Yeah,
world.
we know each other from acting and in our world of commercials. And no, I've always loved acting. I've always was in plays in school. Um, in New York City, I did a lot of acting classes with my dad, who's an actor, and did a lot of extra work years ago, for fun and do my films. And acting to me is just another part of being creative. I love it. I enjoy it. And sometimes I feel like it might be easier than music because it's not as personal.
Right.
Music, especially when you're writing or you're singing, you're totally exposing yourself. Not that you aren't when you're acting, I know, but there's a lot more vulnerable. There's a lot more vulnerability, um,
Act-
especially singing, because singing, you have to be on, and there's elements that you can't control all the time. Where acting, if you have a little bit of a sore throat or a little bit of an allergy, you can work around it a little bit better.
a little bit better.
A little bit better. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do. I've had that quite a bit since I suffer from really bad allergies.
Me
So I
too. Me
manage that
too.
for the acting. Lots of hot tea for sure. But hey, we like some raspy voices too in the singing world. So who
Yeah,
knows? Work with that.
I've
But
coughed enough. I've coughed enough times, so I now have permanent rasp.
right. But in acting, yes, you're also very vulnerable when acting, but you're
Mhm.
pretending to be somebody else. So even
Yeah,
though
that's the point That's the point I'm making. You're able to be a character, which is such a great escape. It's fun.
exactly, exactly. Well, thank you for being vulnerable with us and sharing that music video. It's a great song. I look forward to seeing what's coming out next. We'd love to air it again on Florida National News.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. You're collaborating with some other projects with other people that you started your own production company as well, Dark Child Records. Is that right?
No, that's not, no. The Dark Child Records isn't mine. Dark Child Records is Rodney Jerkins, the Grammy Award-winning, amazing genius producer that I've been so blessed to work with. Uh,
Forgive me.
but yeah, no, you're forgiven.
Work. So to be clear, you work in association with Dark Child Records.
Yes, I worked on a big project for an amazing new artist, Jack Ross, and I was blessed to collaborate on. I don't know. I can't. I think it's about 15 or 16 songs that we all collaborated together on
Oh.
for Jack Ross with Rodney Jerkins and some other great writers and producers.
So I've heard some of Jack Ross's work, which is also amazing.
Fire.
How did you come across Jack Ross?
Jack Ross, I came across, I don't want to push the date, but I think it's like 3.5, 4 years ago from a good friend and co-writer, producer, Andy Anderson. Andy was working with Jack, and then I was able to collaborate on a few songs with Jack that we wrote together. And then the rest is really history. Fast forward to about a year and 6 months ago, I happened to meet Rodney Jerkins, and I was able to present Jack Ross to him,
Okay.
and he was blown away.
So Jack Ross sings the songs, but you've been behind the scenes helping co-write the songs.
Yes, yes, quite a few of them. The first single, and actually the third single now, Questions. Yes, I've been a part of, and many more to come.
Nice. I think in a minute or two we're going to be able to take a look at one of his videos as well. I think
Oh,
it's
good.
that we're going to watch. Going back to the acting, we couldn't get a copy of the video. of this orange juice commercial that you did a few years ago, which I thought was so hilarious because you played this part that just so you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
tell us about that commercial. And of course, I want to hear the line. It's like a 2 word line, but it's total like New York Italian.
yeah, yeah. Well, it was a kind of like a throwback commercial where I was a cab driver. They gave me like a little, it wasn't a fedora, but it was like a cap. So it was very Italian. And I guess I just embraced the whole moment, the whole time period of that. And I think my grandfather in New York had a cab service among
Oh,
many of the things that he had.
so you
I don't know how,
uh,
I don't
commercial,
know who drove the cabs, but so I kind of just embraced that whole New York vibe.
right,
Not
right.
not too far from the truth.
So somebody gets in the taxi, right?
Yes, he gets in the cab. It was a Florida Natural commercial. We shot for 3 days. It was about 100 degrees. We're in
Wow.
the orange groves, and he's in the orange groves, and I pick him up in the cab, and then I scoot away with him, and then we drive through all the major highways, and then we get to New York City, and I drop him off with an orange juice for a customer.
That's so cool. I'm from New York
What
too.
was that?
I'm from New York too.
I know. You're Jenny from the block.
I'm Jenny from the block, yeah. So I thought it's really cool that this taxi driver came literally from an orange grove into the city. I would have loved that as a kid. How cool is that?
It
So,
was a great. I never got. I always talk. You know me. I always talk to everybody on the set. Everybody knows. I don't really let anybody go unnoticed. I want to know who you are.
right, right.
So, but I don't know who came up with that treatment. But it was a great storyline. It was
It was
cool.
fun. It was fun. Tell us, what was your line in the commercial?
It was. I said, where to?
Where to?
Where to?
It's only 2 words, but you know what? It's so
Hey, it's easy. It wasn't hard. I
that
just sometimes I tone it up, and sometimes I could tone it down. But
right, right.
the little Italian New York thing, I think, is there, especially when I get upset.
Oh, yeah.
You know how that goes. I think people's real accents come out when they get upset.
Exactly. I don't normally have a heavy New York accent, but when I'm upset, it starts to come out. And then the Latina comes out a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah. I probably won't want to hear myself, but
Oh, good.
I know it's different.
So that's a fun commercial. Do you have any other? You just did a short film. Is it a short film or a feature film, Anastasia?
Oh, Anastasia was a couple of years ago, but I'm working on a short film. It's actually not a short film. It's coming out. It's like I think we're shooting for like an hour and 20 minutes. My good friend Ray Acevedo, he's a former Menudo member, which
Oh,
is amazing.
that's
Yeah.
oh, is he out in Miami?
No, he's in Orlando. He's a great artist himself. He's always put out music, beautiful voice, and he's a great character because he always delves into art, whether it's drawing or directing or filmmaking, and he goes full throttle. And
Right.
yeah, he's very, very, very good at that. And he started doing directing, editing, and it's coming out amazing. But we're having to go around people's schedules, but it's coming out really good. It looks like something that could definitely be like on a Netflix quality wise. So
What's
excited.
your role in that film?
It's a heist. It's a heist film. So I'll share some clips eventually. With my role, well, I think we're all former military, like a military crew, but then I think we do a heist, and it all snowballs from there.
So I'm seeing a pattern here. You're leaning towards the gangster roles. What's going on?
Oh man, they're lucky I moved to Orlando when I did. I'd be in a lot of trouble, let me tell you.
You can't keep that New York Italian down, right?
I don't know. I really don't
um,
know.
when that
It's a problem.
I thought you were perfect for the part. I said, you know what? They were right on. That was Mezo. Where to? Well, we're looking forward to seeing the film. Let us know when it comes out. What's it called?
Um, I think it's called One Last Drop.
One last drop?
I think. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to.
The
Yeah.
work title.
WOP, work in progress.
I think great. Our video, let's see. We're waiting for Jack Ross's video to be queued up.
Questions?
I'm communicating with our producer to see if that's ready. I believe it's questions. Were you a part of making the music video questions?
No. That was done out in LA.
Okay. That's another interesting video. A lot of it's in black and white.
Yes.
White, or is this part of it in black and white?
I think it has like a few. I think mostly it is like in a monochromatic setting.
And there's a montage, a lot of images. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that before we play it for the audience?
I think the montage is basically like a backdrop for some of the questions that are asked in the song. It's a really deep, powerful song, strong message behind it, and it's another one of those things where I feel like everybody should just listen to it and just have their own interpretation and their own feeling. I don't like to put my feeling into someone else's spirit. You know, I want them to feel it. And for me, I listen to it and it has a very hypnotic, tranquil kind of vibe to it.
Right.
And, you know, like I said before, Darkchild is a genius, and he gave it that hip hop, backbeat. And I think that's great because that can really bring a lot of different generations listening to this song.
Right. I when I first watched the video, it took me a bit to kind of figure out which direction he was going in. Starts one way, and there's definitely a message being delivered, and then I felt like it took a little twist at the end that made it more clear about where he stood. So I'm not going to reveal that to anybody. They have to watch the video for themselves.
Okay. I'd love to hear your view. I'd love to hear your viewpoint on it, though.
But we will definitely show a little clip. And I just got the message that it is ready to be seen. So let's take a quick look at Questions by Jack Ross.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. She said, hold on a second. All right, we'll come back to that. I thought she said it was ready, but she was clarifying that we are looking at the questions video. So I'll definitely tell you my take on it when we get off of here.
What happened? We lost it, and I can't hear you that well.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now?
Some setting got messed up.
Okay, Melissa, can you hear us?
There we are.
Okay. Well, this is the beauty of going live, everyone. And we're waiting for the video to queue up here.
This is what happens with live things.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything was going so perfect.
It was. Everything was going perfectly. That's okay. So while we're waiting for the song to queue up, of course, we're dealing with this quarantine right now. So I did want to ask you how...
I'm listening.
Can you hear me?
Wait, something... I lost you. It's like, oh no.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay, so I kind of heard the question about the quarantine.
Okay. So
say it one more time.
So we're curious to know how the quarantine has transformed how you're doing business now with your music and videos.
Well, it's giving us a lot of time to do a lot of internet promotion. That's for sure. And a lot of Instagram promoting and stuff like that. Other than that, it's the most fun thing in the world. Right. I'd rather be out on the road at this point.
Are you able to write right now? Do you feel inspired during this time?
Say it one more time.
Are you writing right now? Do you feel inspired?
Oh yeah. Some days I'm not really inspired to write because I don't really. I don't feel like it's like the best time to write. It's not like, if you're gonna be too, what's the word? You're trying to write about this particular moment. I just think it's gonna come out hokey. So I
Right.
just get behind. I just get behind the piano. I play some chords, and if the spirit moves me, then something good comes out of it. If not, I leave quickly.
Right. You know,
All right,
it's
so I mean, I could go in there for like 20 minutes and like try, and sometimes something great comes, and sometimes nothing. And I know I'm like, okay, bye. I'll leave you alone.
you can't force art, right? It's
No, and your son's a great pianist, right?
yes, thank
I
you.
wish I was a great pianist like him. You've done a great job with him.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you're doing the same thing with your son.
I'm trying. My son doesn't love the piano.
Oh.
I tried. He hates the piano. I think he likes that he could play a little bit, and he knows how to sight read, and
Right.
probably as he gets older, he'll be happy that he has it somewhat under his belt. But he doesn't. He's not like your son, that's for sure.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll let my son know that. Does he like to sing?
No,
Okay.
that's not his thing. He likes to DJ. He started DJing a couple days
Okay.
ago, and maybe that'll be one of his things. But he's got his own stuff. He loves acting. He loves it.
Okay. Well, but I've
But
seen
he's
him.
upset that he's upset. I'm sorry if I cut you off a little bit because since that little thing, I can't hear you that good. But he's upset that he doesn't live in LA. He wants to
Oh,
live in LA and he wants to be on a Disney show,
wow.
and so he's mad that he can't be famous. But
Well, maybe one day. You never know.
yeah, his time. He's very young. He still has time to be famous.
Exactly. So we were talking about being inspired. Do you have any advice for your audience watching, your fans, about what your recommendations are for them to grow their own talent? I know you're working on your son and trying to figure out where his passions are, and you discovered that it's more in acting. How do you suggest others to find their passion?
Wait, Jenny, I'm having so much problems with the volume since. Oh, so sorry. I apologize.
No problem.
It's embarrassing.
I'm sorry. Let's see.
Maybe your volume. Hold on one second. See. Nope. There we go.
Got it?
That's terrible. I think we might have to cut it short because I can't really hear you unless I put my ear to the. Ask me that last question one more time.
Okay. Can you tell us how do you inspire people to be more creative, or how do you suggest for others to find what their passion is?
Wow, that's a real. How can I inspire people to? I feel like everybody has a different drive and a different. That's a really hard one. I just can only way I can. I think I can inspire is by just me being me and showing all the hard work that I put in. Like I'm not super young and I'm not breaking into this music industry at like age of 20 years old. And so I guess the only thing that I would say is inspiring is to be super perseverant and to keep pushing and to keep,
Right. Yeah.
working on your craft. That's the biggest thing is working on your craft and becoming a master of your craft.
Yeah, they say, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
What
Practice,
was that?
right? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? It's
How do
practice.
you get to Carnegie Hall?
That's what they say.
You got to be able to first get into New York City, which I think is impossible right now.
Right,
And then
exactly.
you have to have some connections. You have to have a few connections, and I don't know if you have those connections, but I could
Right.
help you with that.
This is a tough business, but like you said, perseverance is key. You have to just keep pushing forward with the drive, and your passion is what's going to do that. It's going to be what drives you. Can you, I don't know if we're going to be able to get Jack Ross's video up. She's having some challenges with uploading it. Can you tell us where we can find Jack Ross's video?
Oh, sure. I mean, you could find Jack Ross's videos right on YouTube right away. It's JAC Ross, and the first single, "It's Okay to Be Black." There's a video for that one, and then there's a video for his second single called "Saved," which is a beautiful, beautiful song, very touching song. Really shows off Jack's vocals. And then the third single, which just was released last week, "Questions." Just type in Jack Ross "Questions" and that video comes up. And then it's that those three songs and two more are making of the first EP. There'll be first EP, second EP, and then the Jack Ross album, which is all on Island Records, Dark Child Island Records. So that should be a very big project for the label. They're really behind him, so it's a beautiful thing to watch the whole process.
Did you co-write those songs also?
Which one?
Did you co-write those songs as well?
"It's Okay to Be Black" and "Questions."
Okay.
"Save" was written, I believe, by a different writer. I forgot his name, but it's a beautiful song. It was produced by Dark Child, but a different writer.
Okay.
I'm lucky enough to have the first one and the third one, so we're getting to experience some really good stuff together. First single on the label, and it's done really good too. It came out for Black History Month, and it's done exceptional. I think it's been on the Billboard chart for 11 or 12 weeks on the urban AC chart, and it's been on radio rotation since January 10th, I think. So it's doing really good.
Nice, congratulations.
Very excited.
Do you have any plans on doing a video together?
Doing a song together?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That'd be a
but
nice
he'll probably do some songs with some other female soul artists and possibly some well-known rappers, I imagine, pretty soon.
Are you a manager to Jack Ross?
Yes, that's something that's in the works.
Okay.
So it was talked about prior to our global pandemic, but yeah, that's something that's moving. That's something that's moving along.
Okay.
That's going to be a nice undertaking.
Manage?
What was that?
Are you looking for other artists to manage?
Sure. I mean, to write for and to write, produce and stuff like that. Yes. Managerial role, probably not so much.
Okay. What kind
my
of
hands are pretty full right now.
What kind of artists are you looking to collaborate with?
What type of artists? Amazing artists. Only amazing artists, because the bar has been set to a whole nother level that I don't. No, but it's fun. There's all different types of people, all different types of music listeners. So, yeah, I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything and everything, except I don't want to say except. I'll get in trouble.
Is there a genre? Because human contact falls under several genres, right? It's not just one particular style. Human contact falls under different genres, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. I don't know. I mostly love, R&B, soul, pop music. Human contact has electronica. It definitely has pop elements and maybe a little R&B element, but not much. But those are the genres I really, really go towards. And always like a little bit of a little bit of a reggae vibe. But I'm open to all music, but mostly has to have a little pop sense to it, but
right,
a little bit of soul as well.
Okay. Well, Mezo, unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to play Jack Ross's video today, but hopefully we can get him on the show on another day. And
sure.
Then, for now, people can look his videos on YouTube, Jack Ross, Questions, is the song that we were trying to play today. He's got a whole playlist of other songs out there. And then, of course, you want to check out Human Contact by Mezo. We gave you
Please do.
a little sneak preview of his video, which is amazing. We're looking forward to your next piece of artwork that's coming out, whether that's a music video or a film that you can share with us. And we wish you luck in everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun with you. And hopefully we'll see each other on a set soon.
Yes.
After this opens up, hopefully maybe a movie.
That would be fun.
That'd be really nice. I think we need a movie.
We do. We
I think
definitely.
short films and commercials and print is cool, but
It's movie time.
movie would be good.
Well, Mezo, thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate having you on here, and we're going to keep a lookout for your upcoming work. And take care. Be safe, of course, during this quarantine.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Ciao,
everyone
ciao.
for watching.